Assalamu alaikum guys and welcome to the first overseas conspiracies. Now, disclaimer, anything mentioned in these podcasts, whether now or in the future, is stories of people we know, of what they've emailed in, messaged me and spoke to me about personally, even my own stories. Not everything is backed up with evidence. Do take everything with a pinch of salt. Not everything can be confirmed as real or true, but it's there to share what everyone has experienced or what they think happened to them whilst they were here in Pakistan. Now, we would hate to be that YouTube channel where we talk about everything good and right about Pakistan, but we do need to give a balance. What about the wrong that happens? And what about all the stories that people have shared? Why don't we give you guys a platform? So, welcome guys to the very first episode, Overseas Conspiracies. Now, marriage. Let's talk about marriage. Why is this the main topic? Over and over again, I keep getting stories. I'm trying to get married in the West. As soon as I mention I'm making hijrah to Pakistan or any other Muslim country, but generally Pakistan because that's how they come through to me, the marriage is called off. The parents don't feel comfortable that their daughter, this is for the men, that their daughter will be residing in a country far away, whether that be in the US, whether that be the boy be in the USA or Canada or UK or any other European country or Australia. I've got a few stories. Now, as soon as the guy thinks, you know what, I'm not getting married, but I don't want to delay my hijrah to a Muslim country, eventually they don't get married and they do end up here in Pakistan or any other Muslim country, still looking to get married. Who did they go for? Myra, my co-host. They end up marrying or they end up choosing or settling, I don't know how to go about this, somebody locally. So they might marry somebody here in Pakistan and great and well, that's all good and well. What about those families where they've gone ahead and got married here, had a few children, and now all of a sudden you've got so many more mouths to feed and tuition fees and schooling fees and hospital fees, buying clothes. All of a sudden things start to get difficult. So what will the family then advise? Go back to your country of origin or country of birth. Or maybe even if you're born here and then you've come back, still go back to the country that you've got a passport. It'll be better for the kids' future. So these are all different stories that I'm pulling together. So now the husband goes back with the kids. Well, for the UK, he can't take his wife because obviously you need to be earning 28k. In the next year or so, that's going to jump up further. So he might not be able to earn that amount of money. So the wife stays here. So now the husband's there looking after the kids, cooking, cleaning, trying to work. And his missus is forever here in Pakistan. And me and Myra know of a family like that.
Yeah, we know families like that.
Yes, we know families like that. So essentially, you've done this hijrah with whatever intentions you had. Obviously, we think it would be for a religious purpose. And then you've just done a full 360, 5-6 years down the line after getting married, and you're back in the West again because things get difficult. So, there's two issues there. One, did you forecast getting married here or having children? Because if you run out of money or don't have enough money here, what are you going to do? If you run out of money, that's it, you're done. And if you do that 360 and go back to the UK, then what was the purpose of your hijrah if your children are going back to the same place you left? And the other part of the story is, why did that family allow you to marry their daughter knowing that you wanted to stay in this country? Is it truly and honestly because they are happy with you as a person? Or was it because you are a passport holder?
Interesting.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because talking about a passport holder, what about all of those brothers married in from Pakistan living in the UK that have messaged me and called me and said to me, we can't, whatever we've done, we can't convince the wife. Whatever we've done. We'll live in Islamabad, we'll have a maid, we'll have a cook, we'll have a driver, we'll have a nice house. She doesn't want to return. Why did she marry him?
For Amazon.
For Amazon deliveries. This is the funniest thing. Before me and Myra came here, we watched a podcast similar to this, and the wife was complaining about Pakistan, and when she was ready to make all of her complaints, there were things like, when you order online for a certain size, it turns up a different size or a different color or a different variation. And then me and Myra just couldn't stop making mention of this for the whole month.
We were making fun, but really it's not funny because the little things, honestly, the other day...
The build up.
Yeah, the other day I watched a video, and this is off topic, but it was just a woman was in a cafe, and I was like, oh, I miss being in a cafe and just feeling really comfortable.
I agree, but
or in a certain environment. So yeah, those things do add up. But anyway, back to the topic.
She was born here, right? In that particular story, she was born here, and so are those brothers stuck in England or any other country that want to return here, but the wife, who's originally from here, doesn't want you to move here. Me and Myra know plenty of couples where the wife is from here, and some couples where both of them were born and bred here in Pakistan and have returned. But then there's so many that can't because they can't convince the wife, no matter what they say or whatever they do. Why do you think that is?
I guess everybody has different values and different purpose. So marrying somebody because they're a passport holder of a certain country, there's nothing wrong with that, because we're in Islam, we know we're allowed to marry for a better lifestyle, whatever we perceive as a better lifestyle. Generally, women want financial security. It's natural for women to want financial security. So there's nothing wrong with marrying somebody for a passport.
Yeah, but what if
Maybe we don't put it just like that.
Yeah, no, but don't take everything we say as facts, guys.
Yeah.
We're just discussing openly. But what if that's 90 to 95% of the reason that she married you? That you're a passport holder? Because how many stories do we know that prior to her getting the stay, everything's okay. As soon as she gets the passport, all of a sudden things are not working out. All of a sudden his drug addiction is not good enough, or his alcoholism is not working for the children or the betterment of the family. All of a sudden X, Y and Z. All of a sudden after she's got the passport, whenever there's a dispute, divorce is on the table, but prior to getting the passport, divorce was never on the table.
Okay, so I guess you're talking about something else now.
Yeah.
Or maybe I was picturing
there's too many stories
it in a different way. So I was thinking somebody that's stable mentally and emotionally, and they might be practicing, and then their family, or then this woman is comfortable marrying this man, and he's a passport holder, which is a huge bonus. Because in Pakistan there's a lot of people struggle financially here, don't they? People, it's difficult to find a job here that's good, that pays well, and it's absolutely fine wanting to be comfortable. And I guess that's why we're here, because we want to be comfortable, we want to work less, we want to earn more,
yes.
And we just want to chill. We want to, like you were saying earlier, you want to walk to the mosque 5 times a day. You don't want to be stressed that, oh, now I've got work, or now I've got all these bills to pay.
That rat race that you're trying to get away from. A brother rang me yesterday. I mean, that rat race, there's a book written about it.
I was just going to say though, before I forget, that so what you're actually talking about is the people who are marrying criminals, or people who are taking drugs, or they have bad character, they're drinking alcohol, they're going out clubbing. The whole family knows about that, but they're still comfortable with their daughter marrying into that family. But then when you have the passport, then they want to get a divorce. But that's a different topic, I guess, because that family might not be looking to relocate to Pakistan. Because why would that brother be looking to leave that lifestyle?
But then I'm exploring the reasons. Why would you, as somebody living in Pakistan all your life, want to leave your mother, your father, your siblings behind, all your friends, everything you know, your entire upbringing, whatever life you've had in Pakistan? Why would you leave it and suddenly turn up in England and marry somebody?
I'm assuming for a better lifestyle, just as we've left where we grew up, where we were born, where we went to school, where we worked. That familiarity was incredible.
But then you've got the stability, you've got the income, and you can return to Pakistan, or you can take your family to Pakistan. But she's refusing to, even though she's lived all her life here.
Yeah, for me personally, I don't understand that. But I guess
this is why we do the overseas conspiracies, because we have to come out with a reason now. I think it's because she never intended to live in Pakistan after marriage, and she intended to gain her passport, and that's why she is living in England. She didn't go all that way to England and sacrifice everything and stay away from her family just to come back.
Because maybe it feels uncomfortable. Maybe she has bad memories of being here. But because we do know of families where, like you said, that both the couple the couple are from Pakistan. They've lived abroad for a long time.
Got the nationality and they've come back.
We also know of many families where the wife is from Pakistan or the husband is from Pakistan and they've returned or they're about to return.
Yes.
So I guess there's a mixture. It is a bit.
It's odd because if you're going to England or any Western country for the nationality, you've got the nationality. You went there for stability, you've got the stability. You're earning the money. You've got passive income. You've got a few properties online giving you the income, or you've got a job, or you've invested. You've got a partnership in a few businesses, or whatever it is. Right? You can leave that country. So what's stopping them? If they can have a nice, relaxed, easy life here.
I guess it'd be nice to know. So if there's anybody like that watching,
how will they know? How can you?
If anybody's watching, they could tell us, I guess, themselves why they would prefer to live in England over going to a Muslim country.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Because I think I think there was a handful of cases, brothers, that I mentioned to you that their wife is from Pakistan. All her family is here. They can provide a very comfortable lifestyle. Yes. But the woman is choosing to be in England and doing all the housework herself.
Yes.
Dropping the kids,
not stepping foot here other than a holiday.
So it would be really interesting to know why these women.
I would love to know if you are one of those women and you really want to express the reason that you want to stay in Pakistan and don't want your husband.
Don't want to stay in Pakistan.
Oh, sorry, you want to stay in England and you don't want your husband to come here. I've had brothers, and this is no word of a lie, email me and straight away say, if you're going to mention my story, hide my name and email address. That's how worried they are.
Still be worried again.
That's how worried they are. Like, brothers, honestly, I don't know what's going on. If your wife was originally from here, I don't know. Like, what is going on? Is she beating you up?
It's so funny because men do get beaten up.
Yeah, men do get beaten up. So yeah, I do apologise. It's just that I can't get my head around it. I'm getting all these stories in and I really can't get my head around because with Myra, I just had to convince her enough to show that we can live.
But it did take you 7 years. So what was going on with you? Were you worried?
Yeah, but it just took me 7 years. Right? If it was Turkey, it wouldn't have taken that long. But Pakistan took 7 years. There's people that are going to try more than 7 years and they know for a fact she will say no. No means no. So for them,
I think you were really clever with how you did it.
Yeah.
You brought me here and you brought me here and
showed you the life.
And we had a really good time.
How I did it.
And you always made sure that I was very comfortable. You knew exactly what would make me uncomfortable.
I researched everything Myra likes to do in England. It's not the doorbell. I researched everything Myra likes in England and what's the like for like here in Pakistan. Made sure we stayed away from family, so it was just us. So we can have that real experience. I got a car, hired a car, drove in Pakistan for the first time. I did a lot of things for the first time. Stayed in Islamabad for the first time. Took Myra to all the cafes and tourist attractions and, scenic views and theme parks and everything. Wherever, was available, I was taking Myra to all of these places. The apartments were just like you're living in England, if not better. And, she was convinced. But having said all that, what about those couples where you do talk and you do try and convince her and you do offer the world, you offer the moon and the sun and they still don't want to move? But anyways,
sometimes it could be. So the reason, the biggest thing that convinced me was that I trust you.
Yeah.
So your wife absolutely needs to trust you.
Red flags again.
Because-
Why did she trust her husband? She left all of her family
Yeah,
behind.
but she wouldn't have known him when she left all her family. Like, before I married you, I didn't know you well enough to know that I'm gonna really trust you. You had to gain my trust.
Yeah, but
So, for example, when
Yeah.
we came here, we
Yeah.
came to this flat, and it was an absolute mess. It was wrecked, and I was crying like
Yeah.
every day.
yeah, it was hard.
And I absolutely hated it. Lots of people said to you there was a lot of pressure on you to not do the flat up to the standard that I wanted.
Yeah.
Tiny details like making sure the walls are smooth.
Yeah.
You made sure that you kept getting people to come back and smooth the
Smooth
walls
them
out.
out,
Even
yeah.
when I said, "Oh, it's
Again and
fine,
again
leave it
and
now,"
again.
because there's something really wrong with these walls. It's still not like perfectly smooth.
Yeah.
But Farhan you didn't listen to anybody.
Yeah,
You
I
just
just
made
carried on.
sure that things were how
up.
I would be comfortable, and that in 1 year time I'm not saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm uncomfortable, I don't like it."
Yeah.
So even when there was peer pressure, I knew that you would do what's best for
Exactly.
me.
Exactly. Even
So-
when the painters and
So that's
builders.
the reason why I trust you.
Yeah. Even when the painters and builders was saying no, this, that, and the other, I'll tell them no. You do this now.
Or even family, when people say to you, "This is not how you do it in Pakistan."
And I did it that way. Yeah.
Your dad bought brand new windows for us. And I said it's fine. I was like, yeah, it's fine. But Farhan knows me well enough that in 6 months' time it wouldn't have been fine.
Yeah, I ripped him out, put double glazing window, because I know Myra values the silence at night. If it, especially in Eid when they were going mental out there all night. Oh my God. But yeah,
Because we are living in a market, so it does get
Exactly.
noisy, and noise does bother me because I grew up in a
Exactly.
quiet area.
shall we summarize the brothers struggling to come here when the wives are originally from here? I think honestly, my personal gut feeling is that you really need to assess what's going on deep down inside. I've been sent a lot of suggestions, by the way, of what's going on, and people have asked me to keep it anonymous, and because they feel like as soon as I mention it, people will know that somebody's emailed me. I don't know why everyone does this. So I've mentioned things on this particular episode that don't necessarily reflect what I think or believe, but what other people say have actually told me, but they've begged me not to mention that it's from them. So I've mixed everything up deliberately so that nobody's story is fully mentioned and isolated, so that they don't now tomorrow start hiding and turn the Wi-Fi off and hide under the stairs. So if there's anything I've said that's too harsh, I do apologize. People have messaged me and said things to me that I wanted to raise awareness of what they're saying or give them a voice. So now they've got their voice, guys. Yeah, so let's summarize. Myra, you do the summary. I've said all the negative and bad.
I think so. For the brothers that are struggling, there was a few things, wasn't there? They're struggling to get married and come here because people are not comfortable with their daughters moving abroad to Pakistan. I think they'll be fine if they're moving abroad somewhere else.
I'm not sure, because one of the brothers did say that he suggested other Muslim countries, but they just didn't want the daughter to leave the West.
And I guess again it comes back down to trust. So like my mum didn't want me to move to Pakistan, but once she really started trusting you, and we'd been married for a while, alhamdulillah, then she was kind of like, yeah, go wherever.
Yeah.
So I think personally it probably does come down to trust. Your wife needs to really trust you.
And as a man, how much of a leader are you? Are you going to bottle it under stress? Are you going to get angry within 2 seconds? Are you going to lose patience? Are you going to give up? Is it going to really test your iman? Some people might get tested so much that, they think, forget it.
Yeah.
And they go 360 in the other direction.
And it's, and it's a big disruption for the family to pick up your kids, bring them here.
Yeah.
If your wife thinks that, you know what, you're going to bottle it.
Yeah.
So the thing with Farhan is he doesn't bottle under stress.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
So generally speaking, if you're going to do something and it's not happening, maybe it's because it's preventing you from doing a 360 and becoming in a state that you can't get yourself out of, which is where, not many people want you to be in. And maybe that's why you're not here. Yeah. So that's great, guys. I hope you enjoyed that first topic. The second part is about family. I had a brother message saying that every time he comes to Pakistan, he gets ill. His whole family gets ill, and they blame it on eating out.
Oh my goodness.
And then
Yeah, there's 2. How are they in here?
they're chilling. They love life. So, so you can see how scared Myra is, guys. So,
Sorry, I'm distracted.
A brother message saying every time he goes to Pakistan he gets ill. This was a message not too long ago, but I've heard this hundreds of times, thousands of times. As soon as they come to Pakistan, their stomach goes out the window, it goes upside down, it's churning, it's going crazy. They blaming it all on fried food and eating out and the water. But yeah, even if you drink mineral water, like Mary used to get sick a lot. We used to drink mineral water, we used to eat home cooked food, we used to go to clean restaurants. And you were getting better, weren't you, Myra?
Yeah.
But she would still get ill randomly. So, even if you are eating clean and you are drinking clean and you're keeping everything clean and you're still getting ill, what do you think the reason is? What do you think the reason is?
I think it could be the change in weather.
It could be the change of weather, it could be anything. But
wait a minute, are these people just coming on a holiday?
yeah, they're coming on holiday and they're just getting violently ill.
But that happens though. People might go to Turkey and they'll get violently ill. Some people have got really weak immune systems. Especially when you're planning a holiday and you're really stressed out.
Yeah.
But I think where you're going with this...
Yes, come on, let's go to it.
I know where you're going with this.
Where am I going? Come on, let it out.
We had a few people say to us that when they've come to Pakistan, they've as a couple they've started arguing when they've gone to certain people's houses, when they've eaten food that was sent by certain people, that the couple would start arguing, there'd be problems between them and the children, and things just started getting a bit chaotic. And is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So you talk about
other things.
Yeah.
Other than what water you're drinking and the fried food you ate.
I don't think that would happen to people if they're just visiting.
If
Generally, people are really
that are visiting are getting ill, and I've heard it too many times. And they're getting violently ill. Like, why? And it's putting people off. They say, I get ill every time I come to Pakistan and it's really putting me off.
And how often are they coming?
I don't know, but I just keep hearing that sentence.
I don't know. The first few times I came, I did get unwell. But when you keep coming, if you're coming every year, your body does get used to it.
There's that, but what's the conspiracy? Come on, let's talk dirty now. Let's put the blame, let's point those fingers. I think, honestly, your family's got it in for you.
Oof.
Right, let's just get out with it there. Tell the story about the...
Actually, I just remembered.
Thank you. Thank you. It's coming now, mate. Don't think that we're just simple people here behind the camera, all smiley. Mate, the stories you've been giving us, playing on our head now. We need to get it all out.
Yeah, I did hear a story about...
We're like almost 25 minutes in. Here, go on.
About a sister who came to Pakistan, and she went back and she was really sick for like a good 6-7 months, to the point where she was like, thought she was gonna die. There was nothing medically wrong with her, but she was just
How
sick,
did she come to the conclusion that it was a family? That's what we need to hear now.
I can't actually remember. I can't remember how she came to that conclusion. But yeah, that happened to her. I think that was just one story that I'd heard, though, to be honest.
Okay, that's one story.
Actually, that was that one story. But then when we were
it all starts coming out now, doesn't it?
Even in our Hijra group, somebody was talking about it.
Yeah.
I guess what I was saying, that when
they come here, they get violently ill.
Yeah.
It's not just a normal ill. I've got the flu or I've got a cold.
Stomach bug. Yeah. It's just
Yeah, and it really weakens them. But yeah. Tell the story about the buffaloes dying and they're checking the stomach. Remember that story?
I don't think we should talk about this yet.
Why not?
It's a bit too soon.
Why is it too soon? See, we're tied up. You know these stories that people have been giving to us, they're giving us like, don't say it yet, it's too soon. People will know that I've told you. They're not going to know that you've told us because people have similar stories. Don't forget that. Yeah, go on.
So, Okay, the words I'm gonna say is that magic happens here in Pakistan. So even amongst people.
What's that cartoon called? The Magic School Bus or something?
Yeah. So is my head in the camera when I'm looking at you?
I could cut that out. Just stop looking for the
Sorry
ants,
about that.
man. Whoever's been sending the ants, yeah, we know it's you.
Okay, so
So the Magic School Bus has been done on somebody, and then
somebody's experienced the magic school bus.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how common it is here for people to do magic and for, you know, whatnot, to meddle. I don't know how common it is, but I've heard stories across the board. So initially I thought, oh, maybe it's a village thing where people, you know, they're isolated and they get desperate, maybe. I'm just, these are big assumptions.
Yeah, we don't know really, but what happened?
But even people in the upper middle class have told me that they found like voodoo dolls in their house. People have found bones in their house. These are things I'm assuming that are used to do.
What about the headless chicken? About a month ago.
Where was that? Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, headless chicken.
I had this chicken just like chucked
In front of the gates of the house.
Yeah, people found.
And when they came to the chicken, it was still warm, so it would have been done like.
Yeah, so with that kind of thing, I mean, it's always good to make excuses. Me and Farhan came to Pakistan. We were very, very gullible,
Naive and gullible, simple.
and very positive.
Positive, and everyone knew that from watching us anyway. You knew how positive and simple and gullible we were.
And yeah, and by staying here and experiencing things personally, and then hearing other people's stories, then we've been able to put things together.
Yes.
So there was people that found. So with the chicken, my initial thought was, an animal's just killed, and it could have been. It absolutely could have been, because
And the
there's no
chicken
hard
ran off.
evidence. What?
It's been killed, and the chicken ran off and just flattened dead in front of the
but an animal could have bit its head off, and the chicken's
that
dead
never
there.
happens, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're to make excuses, it can happen.
Yeah, but
if
even
it
if
happened to us in the beginning when we came here, we would
I
have.
wouldn't have thought that, because I've had chickens in England, I've had rabbits in England, and when a fox goes for the chicken, it doesn't bite its head off; it bites it from the side or wherever it can get to.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So things like that. What else has happened?
The buffalo would keep dying.
Oh yeah, the buffaloes kept dying, and then they found nettles and all this like thread. I guess some kind of a magic potion was made and fed to the buffalo, and the buffalo would always die. Just before the family was about to benefit from it, as in like when
Sell it.
Yeah, when they were about to sell it. Recently we heard a story of a chicken being given poison. I don't know how you know if a chicken's being poisoned. I don't know how you know, but obviously when people have chickens, they can probably tell.
More than likely, they'll just cut it open and go straight to the stomach and have a look.
Yeah, so things like that. I guess why would somebody do that? Jealousy.
And why would they know to go to the stomach? Has it been done before?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Has word got around that somebody else experienced this? This is what they did and found out. But then that buffalo story, all the people working there looking after the animals seemed like just nice, hard-working, simple, poor people that'd give you the most sweetest smile ever. Right? Remember you told me that?
Yeah.
They would all smile and they'll all seem genuine, and you just couldn't.
You couldn't work it out.
There was no point a finger and be like, that guy's the black sheep in the staff that I've got.
Or that person looked at me a little bit funny, or that person didn't seem happy for me, or they seem like maybe they don't like me very much.
So that's why it's a conspiracy, guys. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Remember Scooby-Dooby-Doo, when the evil person would always be the person you least expect. That was always the story in Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Yeah, this is what it was preparing
and
us for.
And they'd rip off the mask, and then they'd be like, oh my god, it's the priest, or it's Uncle Sam, or it's so-and-so person, or it's the police, and it'll always be the person you least expect.
And I guess there might be people who are watching us who don't believe in magic, who don't believe in black magic and stuff like that. But remember, intentions are very strong. So if everybody has an energy, And if somebody is directing positive energy towards you, so for example, if they're saying a dua for you, they're saying a prayer for you, or even if they're just thinking about you and they're thinking good things, then you're gonna that's gonna impact you. If somebody's thinking bad things about you, that they are directing jealousy towards you, just don't want good for you, you're gonna sense that energy, especially if you're spending time around them, if you're near them. But even if you're far away, just as dua works for people who are far away, it's all an energy. Just as people who believe in nazar, that is an energy. You're directing an energy.
Yeah.
So people's energies really do impact us. So even if they somebody's intending, for example, if they're using a doll and they're intending that this is you and they're poking needles into it,
yeah, they might not have learnt from a magician, but it'll still might have an effect on them.
possibly, yeah. I don't know if it does. I'm just
Yeah. If every morning you wake up thinking bad for somebody,
yeah, we're giving people tips now
yeah,
on how to do bad things.
you know what I mean? You're not gonna expect that the world's gonna turn around or be awesome all
Yeah.
of a sudden.
And when people think bad things for other people, they intend bad things for other people, what happens is it does come back round onto them, just as we know
Yeah.
that when we make a dua for somebody, then the angels say ameen, and for you too. So when you want positive for people, you want good for people, it comes back onto you. And when you want bad for people, it comes back onto you, and people suffer.
Yeah.
People who want other people to suffer really suffer, and we've seen it.
Yeah. So guys, if you enjoyed today's podcast, Overseas Conspiracies, do comment your stories. For those that really want their story to be part of the next Overseas Conspiracy series, show, whatever, please do email us as detailed as you want, as informative as you want. Take your time. This is your chance to share your opinions and views. And it's been stacking up all of these months that we've been here, and I really wanted to get everyone's stories off my chest. I'm about halfway there. There's another half, about land grabbing and stuff. So it does have a weight on me every time somebody shares a story, but at the same time I feel like, you know what, if I keep showing one-sided view of Pakistan, then I'm doing injustice to you guys. Because if you can turn up and you have a certain story that we've just mentioned, just like other people have, then the first people you're going to be upset with is me and Myra, because we've not told you that, you know what, be cautious, be aware, always do your protection dua, always be observant, always keep your distance, don't share too much information, just make sure that you're strong-headed and you've got your trust in Allah. You just can't get weak.
There will be, and the purpose of sharing this isn't to put people off. If Pakistan looks like somewhere you want to live, just like we are, we love it here, we absolutely love it. But the purpose of sharing these stories is to really prepare you, so that when you're here, if something's happening, you can spot it. You can think, oh, I've heard that story before, rather than like us, when we've experienced it, then we're hearing stories, and then we're like, okay, now I understand what was going on.
We would have wished that we heard the stories first. Essentially, that's what we're saying.
We had heard some stories before, but really we
overlooked
kind of ignored them.
But we're going to start sharing our experiences slowly as the topics arrive and come up. So it's all based on you guys. Whatever you email in, we'll start talking about those topics. And I've got enough content, by the way, for another 2 of these that have already been sent to me, and that's already on my chest. But for the following Overseas Conspiracies, do share and send in your stories, guys.
You got anything else you want to say?
Guys, stay safe. Remember us in your duas, and please do not take anything to heart. Just listen and try and benefit from other people's stories.
Yeah, and this is not for you to start doubting the people around you. It definitely is not for that, because lots of families absolutely love each other and they're very close.
And the last thing you want to do is accuse them of something that they did not do or do not intend to do.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It is just to be
cautious.
Just knowledge. It's just knowledge.
Knowledge
it's
is
just
power.
Research. Yeah, absolutely. Knowledge is power. So that's the purpose of this.
Guys, I end on that note. I think every single overseas Pakistanis podcast should end with, guys, knowledge is power. See you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.